Have you ever opened your eyes at 3:17 in the morning and just knew? Sleep wasn't coming back? Not tonight, not easily. You lay there in the dark, listening to the stillness of the house, maybe the soft ticking of a clock or the hum of a distant refrigerator. You shift, you sigh. Maybe you even try a prayer or two, but your eyes just won't close. And here's the thing. If you're a woman over 60, you are definitely not alone. In fact, more and more women are waking up at the same time every night, somewhere between 3 and 5 a.m., feeling restless, unsettled, and unsure what their body is trying to say. But let me be clear, this isn't just a quirky little aging hiccup. Your body isn't betraying you. It's talking to you. And once you understand what it's trying to say, you might find those sleepless hours become less of a curse and more of a conversation. Now, in this video, we're going to gently unpack why this keeps happening and what you can do. Not just to get back to sleep, but to actually feel better in the process. Because those early morning wake-ups, they're not the enemy. They might just be a doorway to something deeper. So pull your blanket up, grab a warm cup of tea if you need to, and let's start with the first thing most people get wrong. Let's talk about what not to do. Forcing yourself to sleep. You know that moment, right? You're lying there, dead still, thinking if you just pretend hard enough, sleep will come back like a cat that wandered off. You clench your jaw. You start counting sheep, or bills, or regrets. And the more you think, the more awake you become. The body tenses, the mind spirals. Suddenly, it's 3:39 a.m., and you've mentally restructured your kitchen, relived a conversation from 1988, and written a to-do list that could rival the Library of Congress. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Trying to sleep is the surest way to stay awake. It's like telling your brain, "Hey, be quiet," and it hears, "Hey, panic harder." So what do you do instead? You stop fighting. You lean in. You acknowledge, with gentleness, "Okay, I'm awake, for now." You can begin by simply shifting your body slightly. Nothing dramatic, just roll your shoulders, stretch your arms, maybe sit up a bit. You're not getting out of bed, you're just reminding yourself that you have options, that you're not trapped in this frustrating moment. The stillness doesn't have to feel like a prison. Now here's a trick I teach women all the time, and it works like magic. Not because it's mystical, but because it's biological. Breathwork. Take a slow, deep inhale through your nose, hold it, and then gently exhale through your mouth, longer than your inhale. Count 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Try it a few times with me right now. No pressure, just presence. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, what scientists lovingly call the rest and digest mode. It slows your heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and gently coaxes the body back toward calm. It's like rocking yourself back into peace without saying a single word. And here's something else. While you're breathing, ask yourself, why might I be awake? Not in a panicky way, just with curiosity. Could it be your pillow is flat and lumpy, or that your leg is caught in a twisted sheet like a pretzel? Maybe it's too warm or too cold. Maybe you're thirsty. Maybe you just need to adjust the curtain that's letting in too much light. We often overlook the simple physical triggers and immediately jump to the worst-case mental scenario. But your body is trying to help you. It's giving you the chance to notice. So notice. And if you do get up to adjust the thermostat or take a sip of water, do it slowly. Respect the sleepy state your body is still holding on to. You don't need to turn on all the lights or check your phone. Just move like a whisper. You're not leaving rest, you're resetting it. Now, let's talk about something deceptively small, but surprisingly powerful: hydration. It sounds basic, I know. Drink more water. How many times have we heard that? But stay with me here, because nighttime hydration isn't just about quantity. It's about quality and timing. Picture this. You wake up at 3:47 a.m. and your mouth feels like cotton. Your legs are twitchy. Your body's warm, but not in a cozy way. You feel off. That's not insomnia. That's dehydration. Silent, sneaky, and surprisingly common in older adults. You see, as we age, our bodies lose their ability to hold onto water efficiently. And if you're on medications, or you've had your share of wine, coffee, or salty food during the day, that dehydration can really creep up overnight. But here's the twist. Chugging ice-cold water at 4 a.m. is the worst thing you can do. That cold shock wakes the body up like a bucket of water over the head. Instead, you want room temperature water, or even slightly warm. Just a few sips, not a gulp. Like you're having a soft conversation with your cells. Better yet? Add a tiny pinch of unrefined sea salt. Himalayan or Celtic are great. Why? Because when we sweat or simply breathe through the night, we lose electrolytes, not just water. That tiny bit of mineral helps replenish your body's balance without overstimulating it. Or, if salt's not your thing, a small splash of fresh lemon juice in water works wonders too. Gentle, nourishing, peaceful. Place that water by your bed before you sleep so you don't need to wander far. That's your act of preparation. Your reminder to future you. You are cared for, even in the middle of the night. So here's the truth you might not have heard enough. You are not broken. You are not failing at sleep. Your body is asking for attention, not punishing you. Whether it's breath, posture, hydration, or a change in mindset, these small shifts, done with care, can change everything. The next time you wake up in the quiet hours, don't panic. Don't punish yourself. Instead, try asking, what is this moment really trying to tell me? Because sometimes it's not insomnia. It's wisdom, arriving in the stillness. There's a certain silence that only exists around 4 a.m. It's not just quiet. It's still. As if the whole world is holding its breath. And in that hush, something strange tends to happen. Your body's calm. Maybe you've adjusted the blanket just right, taken a few deep breaths, maybe even sipped some water. But suddenly, it's not your body keeping you awake anymore. It's your mind. Memories start tiptoeing in. Thoughts, old regrets, tomorrow's to-do list. Or maybe a comment someone made 3 days ago that still stings more than you'd like to admit. And it can hit you like a wave, the weight of emotions you didn't realize you were carrying. This is what I want to talk about next, the emotional side of sleeplessness. Because, especially for women over 60, the night doesn't just stir up thoughts, it awakens feelings. You see, during the day, we're distracted. The phone rings, we cook, we clean, we scroll, we help others, we stay busy. And sometimes, whether we mean to or not, we bury things. Emotions we don't want to deal with, fears we don't want to name, grief that feels too heavy for daylight hours. But at 3 or 4 a.m., when the world is quiet and there's nowhere to hide, those feelings often rise to the surface, uninvited, but very real. Have you ever woken up in the early hours with a tight chest, a lump in your throat, or just an odd sense that something's off? Not pain, not anxiety exactly, just a kind of emotional fog that you can't explain? That's not weakness. That's not just getting older. That's your body trying to speak your truth, the one you've been too busy or too tired to hear during the day. Now, in traditional Chinese medicine, which looks at the body as deeply connected to emotion, the time between 3 o'clock and 5 a.m. is associated with the lungs. And what are the lungs tied to emotionally? Grief, sadness, and emotional processing. So if you're waking up during those hours, feeling a little heavy-hearted, or unsure why you're unsettled, maybe it's not just about sleep. Maybe it's about emotion. About something unresolved that your heart is finally brave enough to whisper about. And no, this isn't woo-woo. Modern science backs this up too. Studies show that nighttime wake-ups, especially between 3 and 5 a.m., often correlate with emotional stress. And not just stress from the day, but the kind we carry silently. The stress we never speak out loud. So what do you do in that moment? When you're awake in the dark, heart open, mind spinning? You don't fight it. You don't scold yourself. You listen. You sit up, slowly. Maybe lean back against your headboard. And you check in with yourself the way you would with a dear friend. What am I feeling right now? 我是 See, what's on my heart that I haven't made space for? Is there a sadness here that needs to be acknowledged? You don't need to solve it. That's not what this is about. You just need to name it. Sometimes I suggest keeping a small notepad or journal by your bed. Not for long essays, not even for full sentences. Just a place to let the thoughts out of your mind, onto paper. I'm worried about my daughter. I'm lonely. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. I miss who I used to be. Simple truths. Raw truths. They don't need to be pretty. They just need to be heard. Because the moment we acknowledge what we're feeling, instead of stuffing it back down, something powerful happens. Our nervous system softens. The body no longer has to wake us up to get our attention. We've given it permission to rest. And sometimes, what you'll discover isn't sadness, it's restlessness, not physical, emotional. A sense that something in your life wants to shift. Maybe you've outgrown a routine that used to comfort you. Maybe you feel like your days are a little too quiet now. Maybe you're craving something, purpose, passion, connection. But you don't know how to name it yet. This, too, can keep you up at night. The soul whispers when the world goes silent. So lean in. Be curious. Ask yourself, is there something I want but haven't admitted yet? Is there a change I'm ready for, even if it scares me? Women over 60 are often taught to believe that this stage of life is about settling. But what if it's about stirring? What if those 3 a.m. wake-ups are the beginning of a new conversation with yourself? One that says, you're not done growing, you're just getting started. Now, let's talk briefly about the body again, because emotional restlessness doesn't just sit in the heart. It settles in the muscles. The jaw clenches, the shoulders tighten, the legs twitch. You lie there still, but your body is begging for movement. Not a workout, but a reset. So here's a gentle nighttime practice I suggest. Not yoga, not stretching, just soothing. Start with your neck. Drop your chin slowly to your chest. Breathe in. Then lift your head and gently roll it to one side. Hold. Breathe. Then roll to the other. No rush, just presence. Now your shoulders. Lift them up toward your ears, like a little shrug, and slowly let them drop. Again, breathe with it. Every exhale is a release. Do this a few times. Let the tension fall away with each breath. And if your legs are restless, swing them gently over the bed and give them a light shake, as if brushing off the day. You'd be surprised how powerful this can be. Not to make you sleepy, but to remind your body, you are safe. You can let go now. Touch matters too. Rub your hands together for warmth, then place them on your chest or over your belly. That simple contact says, you're here, you're grounded, you're okay. You see, waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't have to mean your night is ruined. It doesn't have to spiral into stress or frustration. It can become a ritual, a quiet check-in, a release of what no longer serves you, a return to peace. Because sometimes those early morning hours are where the healing begins. They're not interruptions, they're invitations to breathe, to feel, to be gentle with yourself, and maybe, just maybe, to discover a deeper kind of rest than you've ever known. By now, you may be seeing your 3 a.m. wake-ups a little differently, maybe even with a sense of compassion instead of frustration. Because here's the truth, this isn't just a sleep problem, it's a life message, wrapped in quiet hours, asking for your attention. So let's talk now about something we often skip, how to reclaim rest, not just sleep, as a sacred part of life. Let's be honest, we live in a world that glorifies hustle and noise. Even in retirement, there's this unspoken pressure to stay productive, to stay useful, to do. And somewhere along the way, rest became the thing you earn after doing everything else. A luxury, a reward, a leftover. But real, deep rest, the kind that nourishes your soul and quiets your heart, is not a reward. It's a requirement, and the body knows it. When you wake up at 3 a.m., it might not be because something's wrong. It might be because you finally have a sliver of stillness, and your soul is saying, "This is the only time you've given me to speak. Please listen." So let's start by redefining what rest looks like. It's not just sleep. It's not 8 perfect hours with no interruptions. It's how you treat yourself all day, and especially at night. Start with your evening routine, not a checklist, a ritual. Around 8 or 9 p.m., begin to transition, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Lower the lights in your home. Dim the screens, or better yet, turn them off completely. Light a candle. Put on music that makes your breath slow, jazz, classical, even a little instrumental guitar, whatever softens the space between your ears. Then ask yourself, what would feel nourishing right now? Maybe it's a warm shower with lavender soap. Maybe it's lotion on your hands and feet. Maybe it's putting on your softest pajamas. The ones that remind you of comfort, not just sleep. These aren't luxuries. These are signals to your nervous system. We're safe now. We can let go. One beautiful tip I've seen work wonders. Foot soaks. Yes, just like Grandma used to do. A basin of warm water, maybe with Epsom salts or a few drops of essential oil. 10 minutes before bed. No phone, no distractions, just your feet in water and your breath going soft. It grounds you, calms the nerves, and helps regulate sleep hormones like melatonin and cortisol, naturally. And speaking of hormones, let's not pretend those don't change everything. After 60, your levels of estrogen, progesterone, and even melatonin decline. And those shifts affect everything: body temperature, mood, digestion, anxiety, and especially sleep cycles. That's not a fault. It's biology. But here's the good news. You can support your body with gentle strategies. One of my favorite tools? Magnesium, especially glycinate or threonate forms, which are calming without upsetting the stomach. Magnesium helps relax muscles, reduce nighttime anxiety, and support a steady heartbeat. It's like a hug for your nervous system. As always, check with your doctor, but most women are low in magnesium without even realizing it. Another nighttime ally? Chamomile or passion flower tea, not just for the taste, but for the ritual. The act of sipping something warm, slowly, signals to your body that the day is done. You're transitioning into peace. You're not just going to sleep, you're returning to yourself. And now, perhaps the most powerful practice of all, gratitude. Not the kind you force, not the right 5 things because a guru said so, but the kind that comes from presence. When you wake up at 3:17 a.m. and the room is still, and your thoughts are trying to rise again, take a breath and say quietly, "Right now, I'm safe. Right now, I have air in my lungs. Right now, I am still here." Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's everything. If it helps, place a hand on your heart. Feel the rhythm, that beautiful beat that has carried you through decades, through joy and loss, laughter and change. That heart of yours, it's still working, still steady, still strong. And that, even in the still of night, is worth celebrating. So, let's pull this all together, shall we? If you're a woman over 60 who keeps waking between 3 and 5 a.m., know this. It's not just age, it's not your fault, and it's not the end of good sleep. It's a beginning. Your body is speaking through breath, through tension, through subtle wake-ups. It's asking you to pay attention, to honor what you need, to shed what no longer fits, and to finally give yourself permission to rest, truly rest, in all the ways that matter. Sleep will come, maybe not always in perfect stretches, maybe not without some effort, but when it does, it won't be just from exhaustion. It will be from healing, from peace, from finally listening to what your deeper self has known all along. You are worthy of rest. You are worthy of care. You are worthy. Full stop. So the next time you find yourself staring at the ceiling in the quiet dark, remember this. You're not alone. You're not broken. And this moment, this still, sacred moment, might just be your turning point. Breathe, soften, begin again. I'd love to hear what resonated most with you. Was it the breathing, the emotional check-in, or maybe just knowing you're not the only one going through this? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us reach more women just like you, women looking for peace, wisdom, and a little extra support through the night. Your presence here means the world to us. Take gentle care of yourself tonight, and always. I'll see you in the next video.